Hey, folks, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of the Beers of Brian podcast. This is episode 77. I'm trying a new thing, being on camera by myself. Rainy day here in Minnesota, which is all good. I mean, we needed some rain. Not like we didn't have fucking snow for how long. Um, House to myself. I got the puppies, but didn't I don't know. I don't know what to do with myself. I mean, the wife and baby are gone. I don't know what to do. I'm here by myself. I'm hanging out. I got to go meet the lady and the baby later for a little birthday party we got invited to. I don't really know why. I don't know. I don't know what. Hold on. Let me get. There we go. There we go. I don't know if you heard that, but look at that, how fast it is already poured. I'm drinking on two beers today, folks. Okay. One of them is an easy drinker. The other one is also an easy drinker. What's up, people? Long time since I've done an episode by myself. Life's super busy with the baby and with work. Crazy though, work called me yesterday and they go, "Hey, when's your daughter's 6-month birthday? Whatever the birthday thing." And I was like, "Oh, it's let's see, it's probably June 11th, I would say." They're like, "Oh, okay. You got to take paternity leave next week." And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, you get 28 days paid, and you have to be with the company 6 months, and then you have to take it before the child's 6-month birthday." So I'm glad I fucking called, or they called when they did, because it's literally next week is when when this comes out Monday, I will be starting maternity leave on the Friday. But if I'd have done any of the paperwork like a few days later, I would have gotten denied for it, which I think is ridiculous. But I'm still getting that leave, but it's just insane to me how close it's. I literally caught it 2 days before. I didn't catch shit. The HR literally caught it 2 days before, which is nice. But yeah, like what do we think the proper time for paternity leave? I know the United States is one of the worst overall. Like some jobs don't even give it. And us dads need some love too, you know what I'm saying? My job, thankfully, and that's what I think a dad needs. I think a dad needs a month. Take a month, I mean, granted, it should be taken while during the same time period the baby's born, but like shit happens. I think the dad needs a month. I think the mothers need longer. I don't think the 12 weeks is enough for a mother. I'm thinking we need to push it to 4 months, 5 months, maybe. Some countries give half a year, some countries give an entire year, which is insane to think about. Like, I couldn't imagine being employed by a job and then having a baby and then an entire year. Do you know how much shit changes in a year? So much shit changes in a fucking year. And then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh yeah, hey, I'm back." I'm fucking back. Like that is what it is, Hey, did anything change? It's only been a year. It's insane. It's insane to me. I mean, so much shit can happen in a year, and you're just like, "Oh yeah, I was just on maternity," which is crazy. But yeah, so I get 4 weeks, 28 days, whatever it is, count them, which is nice. I think that's good for a guy. I think the father's good with the month. I don't think we need much more than that. I mean, at this point, she's almost 5 months old. I don't even need 4 weeks. But hey, the company offers, company offers. I'm not going to turn the company down. I'm a company man first. Okay, company man first. Not going to turn the company down. Okay. But look, that's not why I'm hauling the podcast here. This is also a celebratory episode because the WHO, the WHO, the World Health Organization, tweeted last week that the pandemic is over. It's over. We survived. The global COVID-19 pandemic is now over. It is not considered a pandemic anymore. We've all known this for the last 2 years because we haven't really given a fuck about it. Okay. And if you got COVID like I did in the last year, you just said, oh, yeah, I'm sick. Shrugged your shoulders, tipped your cap. I made hot toddies. Okay. And if you haven't had a hot toddy, we'll have to do a hot toddy episode because hot toddies are delicious. Okay. If you like, so a hot toddy, what I like to do, it's just what I like to do. Okay. I pour bourbon in first. So it's bourbon, hot water, honey, lemon. That's all you need. And here's where I get all. Here's where I get all, because my new favorite drink is soda water and bourbon, Fresca and bourbon, which is a grapefruit Fresca and bourbon, and it's so good for whatever reason. But my thought process is that my thought process is like, I'm drinking alcohol, but I also have water, right? So like it doesn't matter if they're mixed, doesn't matter if the ratio's off. It could be 90% bourbon, 10% water, and it's totally fine. A hot toddy though has to be portion controlled, because it's an actual ingredient based drink where it's like baking, for instance. Baking, all the ingredients have to be exactly what they are. And if you don't put enough flour in or enough baking soda, your brownies are going to turn into soup, that kind of thing. Which I can't. I can bake, but I love making pancakes, but I can't make. I can do it all. I can do whatever I want, folks. Okay, I don't give a fuck. All right, I can do whatever I want. Especially talking to my computer screen here. People that are watching the YouTube video, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of the pod. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to it though. The hot toddy, I like to do it's 2 ounces bourbon, 2 ounces bourbon. Or this is my hot toddy. Okay, so I like mine a little strong because it really does clear up the nostrils. I don't know if you can tell I'm talking nasally today. That's what happens when you have a daughter, okay, or a kid. That's what happens when you have a kid. Sickness and then health. That's what they don't tell you when you get fucking married. Is sickness and in health really is about your kids in the future. Your wife's not going to get you sick. Your kid's going to get you sick. Okay. Health, your wife's going to take care of your health. Your kid's going to get you sick. Okay. That's what they should change it to, with kid sickness and in health. I mean, shit. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. All you parents out there, tell me I'm fucking wrong. Your kid's the one that's always sick and gets you sick. These fucking daycare kids they give my daughter the illness, and then she brings it home. And of course, daddy's got a love on her. Daddy's gonna give her a little smoocheroonie, right? I'm not gonna fucking not kiss my kid because she's sick. What? And then next thing you know, bam, I'm sick. Anyways, hot toddy. This is how I like it. You guys know ADHD. I'm crazy about it. This is how my brain operates. A to G to M to B to E, C, D, Z. And that's how my brain operates. Anywho, hot toddies. My measurement's probably off, but it's a 1 part bourbon, 1 part hot water, like you're drinking tea, or like you would if you like homemade coffee, which I don't know anybody that does that besides this guy on TikTok. And then it's honey, and honey is used at your discretion. If you don't like honey, don't use honey. I like honey, but I don't like a lot of it. So I just do a little, and that's it. And you guys know the consistency of honey, so it doesn't come out that quickly. And then it's lemon. Now, what I do, because I don't, the citrusy, the acid, the acidic C, is that a word? It's got to be a word. The acidic C? Acidic C. Jesus Christ. Is that a word? Let's Google it. The acidic C. Acidasically. It's going to be a word that I'm just pronouncing wrong. Acidic C? Acidity. I'm pronouncing it wrong. God, so stupid, you fucking idiot. You dumbass. Acidity. acidity. Acidity, not acidity. Acidity. Um, but what I do is I squirt a tiny bit of lemon in there, and then I just rub it around the inside of the glass. You can't do this out of plastic cups because the water will heat the cup up. You have to do this out of a nice glass with a handle. It's gotta be like a, or you can do like a coffee mug, but you have to do something with a handle because it's boiling water. I mean, we got lucky and our house came with, because we didn't build our house, we bought it. It came with hot water from the tap, which is so, it still feels like it's 2030 for me. Because if I want tea or if I want a hot toddy, then that's all I got to do is just go to the tap. But boil you some water, throw some bourbon in, throw some honey in it, and then mix. Okay, let me back up. Bourbon in, honey in, mix, 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 mix. As the liquid and honey are still stirring, throw the hot water in. And then mix it the opposite way. That's what I do. And then that's when I bring the lemon in. I say, all right, finish up, clean up around here, do what you do. And then I drink it, dude. And dude, it clears my sinuses up like you wouldn't believe for 3 minutes. And then it's like I want another one because it tastes good because it's bourbon. And I just want another one. So then I end up drinking 6 of them, can breathe totally fine, hammered. I get real, I mean, I don't get hammered off of those things, but it can happen. It can fucking happen. But anyways, what am I even talking about here? It's been a while since I've done one by myself, and I don't know if you guys have been in the situation where you have to, or if you even think like I do, and you have to find means to entertain yourself. I think that's my prerogative, because I have to always be moving, shaking, and grooving, shucking and jiving, if you will. And like this morning, I've already tried playing video games since the wife and kid left. Obviously, I've already tried to play video games. I've tried to clean up a little bit, made myself some food. Still bored. Got to do something. I said, you know what? I haven't done a podcast by myself in a long time. Let's jump on it real quick. Throw the hands. 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. Let me give you guys something. Okay? Because I'm getting ready to get on paternity leave, and then I'm going to be recording pods almost every day. And so we're going to be, we'll be locked in. Sorry about that. So yeah, the COVID-19 pandemic is over. We all survived. The WHO stated it's over, which is so nice, right? I'm glad they told us something that we knew a year ago. Okay. I mean, I got COVID last October, and it felt like a I mean, it sucked. I'm not gonna lie, but being sick sucks. Being sick in general, any type of sickness you got, from your kid, not from your kid, any type of sickness is just it's unsettling. You don't like it. You totally start thinking about life not sick, or like right now, man, I sound much better when I'm not talking on my nose. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways, I opened up a beer here. I'm already drinking a beer, and just because I didn't want to get up much, and I shouldn't have to pee too much. I'm in the podcast here. And what do you guys think? I mean, what's going on? How are things? I know when I'm recording this, it's before game 3 of those Hurricanes absolutely dicking down the Devils of New Jersey. I mean, that 6-1 rout on Friday was insane. The 5-1 game on Wednesday, I mean, I give that game was a 4-1 game. The final score should have been 4-1. I mean, empty netters obviously count, but they are put in parentheses called empty net. So it's like Does it really? I mean, it does count, and it should count because I mean, it is a goal, but nobody's trying to stop you. It's a good thing that like hockey doesn't do that all the time. So then people just pad stats. You know what I mean? Like I feel like in other sports, basketball especially, I'm just gonna hang up by the 3-point line and shoot, and that's it. That's how I pad my stats. That's how I make my shots, get my points, get my percentages up. NFL, I mean, you don't really get much for padding stats unless you're, you know, Jared Goff or I mean, these are just the two that come to mind. Kirk Cousins he's moved away from it, but he was one of the best garbage time quarterbacks when he played for Washington. And even in his Mike Zimmer years with the Vikings, I mean, it was if we're down 30, good because we're going to score 25, and Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 450 yards and 5 touchdowns, and that's anyways. But hockey and playoff hockey it may be the best professional sport playoff that there is. I mean, it's I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the person I was listening to was like, playoff hockey is different and better because during the regular season, the players don't want to jump in front of a puck, which made total sense. And I was like, holy shit, for somebody that's just now getting into hockey, listening to this person obviously grew up playing hockey, but is a comedian. And to hear that, I was like, holy fuck, in the playoffs, all people do is sacrifice their bodies because they know how important a playoff goal is. And in the regular season, you're not diving in, you're not putting your body out there. I mean, there have been 2 Hurricane players that have taken pucks in the face in the last 5 games. And I don't ever remember reading or seeing any game this season where somebody took one off the dome, So yeah, but that's what makes the playoffs so much better. Is like, holy shit, he's got a wide open shot and it's headbutted by the defense. Like, it's insane. But the Hurricanes won 5-1 on Wednesday, which again, it was as far as 5-on-5 or 6-on-6 with the goalies, it's a 4-1 game. But last night, Friday night, game 2, they scored 6 fucking goals and only let up 1. And the one wasn't even it was poor defensive play. I mean, it wasn't even obviously you look at the goalie and you're like, hey man, you're supposed to stop everything. But the goalie's got 3 dudes in line or 2 dudes in line trying to help him, stop the puck, not let open shots up and they just didn't do that. And a offensive player, a wingman, I think it was the right wing, was wide open, and there was a great pass from the left wing, and it was just I could have made the goal. It was just an easy score, but that was it. I bet you he saved 25 shots and let up the 1. But the Hurricanes somehow, I mean, I say somehow, but they're great. I mean, they got skill. They're playing good at the right time, and it's hard to beat them at home. But I didn't even think New Jersey was a professional team on Friday. And I'm not saying all of this to try to talk shit. I'm just saying if we got beat 6-1, I would come on the podcast and be like, I don't even know if we're a professional team anymore. Straight up. I mean, it would just be like that because I don't, just not sure. But we kicked that ass, okay? Now we're going to go back to New Jersey for game 3 tomorrow or yesterday when this pod comes out. And you know what? We may lose. But that's only because it's first game at a different arena, different home crowd. They got to get some energy. And I didn't know this. The Devils and Hurricanes are pretty much the same team. I mean, Carolina does a lot of things better than the Devils do, but their records, points, Carolina's got 1 point better and 1 overtime loss better. So they're pretty much even. Hurricanes fucking dominated. I mean, they destroyed them last night. It wasn't even – I say last night is Friday night, people, game 2. It wasn't even close. I mean, they went up 4-0, and then it was a goal for the Devils in the third period. We scored 2 more, and the last 6-8 minutes, it was lollygagging around like we were pre-skating, which is something I'd like to do. I'd like to start ice skating. Not right now, because we finally don't have any fucking snow on the ground. So not right now. Right now, I'm looking for a lake, a pool, a chance to sit outside. Like this winter's been long for us Minnesotans. Parents came up for the last podcast Chubbs and I did. That was live from the house. It snowed the Saturday before. I mean, I'm sure I was very vocal about it in the pod, but it's finally snow's finally not here, and we're excited to not have snow, which is nice. But we're more excited that COVID pandemic's finally over. Anyways, today's episode I want to bring it to you, brought to you, but not brought to you in part by nobody. I'm gonna take a sip of this beer, and it may be 7 sips, and it may be 3. Okay. I didn't need to do that. Anyways, it's good beer. I got another beer, but it's cooling off over here. Okay, right over there, and over there. So, anyways, I think the shirt I'm wearing, Green Day shirt, Dookie, the best album, but a shit word to say. No pun intended. I think it's one of the best Green Day albums ever. I mean, American Idiot's definitely close. Nimrod's not bad. Dookie's got to be the best. I mean, it was. I think Green Day had 2 primes, if that makes sense. Also, heard a fucking take on LeBron James. He has had 4 Hall of Fame careers in his entire career. Like if it was anybody else. So, I mean, MJ's still the GOAT, but that's just because I'm a Carolina fan, Carolina. Just warming up the teeth, the tongue, the lips, and the tongue. The teeth, tongue, lips, and what was it saying? I took a theater class in high school, and sorry, it was TH, and I remember I was in class with this one girl who made herself pass out. I'd never seen anybody do it, and she heard of this thing. Now this was pretty. I mean, Facebook was out, but this was pretty prehistoric. It was 2007, 2008, so this was pretty pre internet social media era. I mean, there was Facebook. Like I said, Facebook was a thing, but it wasn't that big of a thing. I didn't really get it till sophomore, junior year, like 09, 2010. Excuse me, guys. God, I'm sorry. But this girl, she I remember me in my mouse mood. I believe he was in that class, but this girl just says, "Hey, I found out that you can make yourself pass out through an article." And I was like, "No fucking way am I trying that. I don't want to pass out. I already have a needle thing. Like I can't get a fucking I had to fully prepare my mind to get blood drawn or like an IV. Like I have to know about it, plan it out, eat a certain foods, drink a certain amount of water, have a washcloth around. Like, and I'm probably gonna faint anyways. I'm not gonna fucking make myself do it. So this girl, she a long story short, which I can explain what she did as well because it's a podcast, but basically cut off oxygen to her brain and it made her pass out. So she stood up, took however many breaths in, really deep breaths, deep breathing, and then went down into the fetal position, still on her feet, but like down, grabbing her knees, and held her breath, and then stood up holding her breath, and then went down again. And this was all like timed out like 3-5 seconds, whatever it was. And she went down for a second time to hold her knees in the fetal position. But the second time is when you would exhale. And then once you exhale all of your air out, you stand back up. And then that's when she just fell out. And we had to catch her. And it was like oh my God, it's coming back to me. It's like a thing. Like the teacher was like, oh my God, what happened? We're like, oh, I don't know, dude. She just fainted. I'm like, yeah. No, she didn't make herself do it or anything. Do you have any medical conditions? No, I don't. I don't know what happened. I've never fainted before. It was wild. I think she skipped the rest of the day of school and just took it on the chin there. I just bad fainted in class one time. It was very scary. I think she was back the next day though. And then I don't know if the teacher ever found out, but yeah, I mean, I think she took an extra few classes with him. I don't know. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, I've seen somebody make themselves pass out. I don't care for it. Not a cup of hot toddy that I'm interested in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take another sip for the people listening. Remember, we're on YouTube. I'm on YouTube right now by myself. I don't say it like Chubbs ditched me. I'm saying it like I texted him and he hadn't texted back, but I'm still doing the pod anyways, okay? You know what's odd? Here's what's really odd. Is that people have a special and probably more special relationship with their cars or their vehicles than they do their house, which is odd to me. In my line of work, I see a lot of people who think their cars are valued very high or way higher than they should be. But I feel like if I called them and said, hey, your house is only worth this, they wouldn't fucking know. Now, excuse me, that could be to like credit of like there's more cars around, people are in and out of cars more often, that type of shit. But it's also like, don't sit here and tell me what I'm doing is wrong when I don't do it. Sorry, I'm just complaining about work. I'm not gonna do that. I'm fighting a burp too, and I'm waiting on my other beer here to cool off, and then we'll jump into things. Acidity. I'm such a fucking idiot. Anyways, what else is new? Paternity leave. One to fucking talk. Oh, holy shit. There's this TikTok page. I don't know how many of the people who listen to this podcast are on TikTok. There is this podcast epidemic going down. Now, anybody does a podcast now, right? And I get that. I am different than others, but I'm no different than others. You know what I mean? You guys, I get a lot of like family that follow me or that listen to the podcast, and I appreciate it. I really do. I love all of my followers. There is a TikTok. Boy, that app is great. There's a TikTok epidemic of people posting their podcast, and there's a new thing of podcasts. And I don't know I think it's the younger generation, and I say that, but I think Gen Z is that below millennials? I think I don't fucking know. People born in the 2000s. How about that shit? So there's this thing where people do a podcast of like 6 dudes and 6 girls, and then they basically ask questions of like, do you think you're a 10 or not? Do you think you're hot? Do you think your personality's great? And it is only because both of these groups of people are absolutely fucking delusional. Both of them are like, Like all they want to do is fight and be confrontational and prove a point that needs no proving. It doesn't need any fucking proving. One example, there was this kind of large lady that was calling herself a 10. Okay. Everybody has their own rating about themselves, and everybody is viewed as a 10 to somebody, right? I'm not a fucking 10, but maybe to my wife, I'm an 8, you know? I don't know. I don't know. But in this fucking podcast world, if you say you're an 8 and this guy thinks you're a 6, all 6 people are going to be fucking coming down on you like, no, you're fucking ugly, your personality's. And it's ridiculous. I don't get it. Also, I'm not from that time. I'm not 22, 23 years old. I don't know what they're going through. And I don't understand the need for confrontation on a podcast. That's why I don't have an argumentative podcast. That's why we don't debate on here. Like, it is a opinion-based beer review podcast, you know? Now, with that being said, because I don't like that. I mean, I don't give a fuck if you have 12 people on a podcast. That's cool. I love doing big group podcasts. It's just tough because, you know, without it carrying on 5 hours, you know, I'm not Joe Rogan here, you know, and we're not. Nobody's a comedian waiting on timing and balancing and knowing when to talk and when for somebody else to talk and when to listen and to respond. Nobody but the professionals know that. Okay. And so TikTok is riddled with all these accounts of like, so what would you say, you're a 10? Really? You're not a fucking 10. No. You're stupid is what you are. You're stupid. You're a 3. And then it's just like, why would you say she's a 3? And then it's like, oh, because I also believe she's a 3. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense. It's fucking stupid. I don't get it. People hating on people for views, right? I don't get it. Now, me talking shit about the Packers, totally different. Totally different. I tell you what, totally different, man. Totally different. I don't know if I can do a good De Niro or not. Well, Fokker, if you're on YouTube, you could see how great my impression was, but it looked like pretty normal me because my eyes are all squinted as shit. Anyways, there's this other viral TikToker who is making fun of TikTok podcasts, and it couldn't be more spot on. Spot the fuck on. I'm gonna do a terrible impersonation of it, but here it goes. He starts him off and he goes, "Hey, so how long has the Earth been around for? A few billion years, right? Who named Earth? Right? So everybody on Earth has always associated the globe with the name Earth, but look, he's about to leave. But who named Earth? Earth, right? That just blow your mind. Or he'll do some other shit like, if the wheel was invented 6 billion years ago and the Egyptians wrote on the walls of the pyramids, do we really think that cars were invented in 1915? Think about that. Let that sink in. Think about it. Just think about it. And dude, I'm dying because all he's doing is making fun of these other stupid motherfuckers that are these people that have podcasts just for views. I have podcasts because my fucking mental can't take being locked up for so long. I have to just sit here and spew nonsense, okay? I have to. And it gives me an excuse to have a few parties, okay? A few afternoon teetles, okay? Little teetles for Cousin Skeetles, okay? Cousin Skeeter, dude. You kidding me? Little teetles for Cousin Skeetles. So good, dude. So good. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. Hurricanes are good. Green Day album's good. Boobs are good. Why is sky blue? Why is the grass green? Why are boobs good? Why are boobs good? Epic Velicourt the devil. Oh, I haven't seen any new movies lately. I've been real into Boardwalk Empire lately. I tell you what, there's something about watching a TV show back in the day and everybody smoking that makes you want to just rip a ciggy inside your home while you're watching it. It does. I used to smoke. I fucking have never wanted to smoke more watching a TV show where everybody's like, not Trailer Park Boys where they're like, come on, smokes. Hey, haircut, smokes. Not like that, but like everybody's a gangster and like a gangster in Atlantic City. If you haven't seen the show, Steve Buscemi's lead character, he's the like political leader, mayor, governor of Atlantic City, but he's also the mafia leader kind of on that side. And he smokes. Everybody who's anybody's fucking smoking because it's 1920 and smoking's healthy for you, right? Which is insane to me. Remember, they used to do that. It used to be morphine and nicotine used to be, does your head hurt? You probably need a cigarette, right? Morphine used to be given for colds. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's true. It sounds good, though, right? You believe it for a second. I don't fucking know. How am I supposed to know? I wasn't born then. That's not on the show. And if it was, I wouldn't remember it anyways. Okay? Wouldn't remember it. Wouldn't remember. I don't know. I love the show, but if something that small, maybe it did. Maybe I did remember it. I don't know. Maybe I got that subconsciously from the show. But look, swear, STOG, Stog. Swear to, that didn't even make sense. STG, swear to goodness. I swear to good. Yeah, no, I don't fucking know. But the show's great, but it makes me want to smoke, and it makes me want to drink bourbon neat, and it makes me want to smoke cigarettes. And obviously I can't do that inside the house. Or can I? We'll be right back. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm gonna check the time here, folks. See how long I've been doing this. Sorry, that was probably really loud for you guys. I don't think I've ever done a podcast this long by myself. I've had a lot to talk about, I guess. Didn't even get to the beer yet, so let me chug this quick. You won't even know I'm gone. Let's take a little commercial break. If you're on YouTube, you're gonna see. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. Anyways, hang on, folks. Why did I think of Steve Winwood, Higher Love, during chugging that beer? Bring me a higher love. Oh, do. Bring me a higher love. Oh, higher love. Can you bring it up and think about it? Right? It's a banger. It's a banger. I don't know the words, but it's a banger. Steer sucking Brooks Brother banger. Okay. Sorry, I gotta open. How do I? Oh, there we go. Think about. Can you drink high love? All right, folks. Beer review on the Beers with Brian podcast. Who's ready for that? Good thing about the beer I have here is that you can find it all over the good old US of A. You can find it everywhere. I have drank this in North Carolina. I've drank it in Minnesota. It's a good beer. It is like Chubbs and I were saying. I don't know if I did this on the last one. It's okay if I did, though. Because I'm by myself in IDGAF. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, sorry, guys. I'm getting really excited now. I think it's all the beers. I woke the puppies up, for God's sakes. Here's the color for the people that aren't YouTube and that are just listening. It is a amber ale. Chubbs and I called this the knockoff red oak. But again, folks, just because it's a knockoff doesn't mean it's not good. Today I'm drinking George Killian's Irish Red, established in 1864. This beer has almost been around as long as the fucking United States of America. I mean, almost 100 years after. But you guys get what I'm fucking saying, okay? Oh shit, that reminds me of a fucking TikTok. Everything's from TikTok. Anyways, folks, I'm gonna do a quick beer review on this. George Killian's. And for the longest time, I thought it was George Gilligan's, which obviously is wrong. But George Killian's appearance to be a deep ruby red in color with a dense off-white foam, which is true. Aroma, roasted and toasted caramel characteristics with ale-like fruit esters. Taste, toasted, roasted caramel malt introduction with nice bready characteristics. How's your mouth going to feel, Brian? Well, it's going to feel full-bodied with medium carbonation. How's it going to finish, Brian? Well, balanced with slight lingering citrus rind and subtle sweetness. Baby, here we go. George Killian's on the Beers with Brian podcast beer review, baby. I just spilled that all over me. That's going to be... It's damn good. It's a good drinking beer. The good thing about these amber ales, these Irish reds, is you can have them year round. An amber ale is good in the summer, just as good as it is in January. You know what I mean? It's going to get a full chub for me because I love a George Killian. It's a full chub. Full chub. It's a good beer. It's definitely at your local grocer. Here's what it looks like for people on YouTube. It's not a sponsor of the pod. I'm promoting it. If anything, you guys should pay me, or at least help with my mortgage or something. I got a kid, for God's sakes. Help me out. How about this? I'll drink your beer for the rest of my life if you pay for my kid's college. That's simple. I drink more beer than years my daughter's going to go to school. As far as price wise, I can drink 40 grand or whatever it is. Oh shit, hang on. State school. So state school, it would be like 50 grand for 4 years or so. You know, thinking 14 grand a year, everything included. I can drink that at George Killian's. Holler at me, George. Where's this from? Manufactured under license from San Antonio. Yeah, it's a product of the United States. God damn it, product of the USA. All right, folks. That was it. That's the Beers with Brian podcast, episode 77. Remember, tip your bartenders, drink responsibly, and fuck the Packers.